Welcome back, children. We are moving on to the next video, video number 2 of shapes and angles. And this we'll be learning clock and angles. We'll be connecting the clock with the angles, and we'll be connecting shapes also with angles. So we'll do some questions based on that. Clock and angle. We've already learned an angle of 360 degree. What was that angle called, children? That angle is called a complete angle. Angle of 360 degree is called complete angle. That is in the form of a circle. So we can say an angle around a circle is 360 degree. An angle around a circle, because that's a complete one, isn't it? So it is called a complete angle. So I can say angle around a circle is 360 degree around a circle. So when you take in the case of a clock, I'll show you a clock over here. When you take in the case of a clock is the form of a circle. The angle formed over here is 360 degree. Okay. The angle between the two consecutive numbers. What do you mean by consecutive numbers, children? Consecutive numbers are numbers which are coming one after the other. Here you can see after 1 you have 2, after 2 you have 3, after 3 you have 4. Similarly here when it goes up, after 10 you have 11, after 11 you have 12, after 12 you have 1. So these are consecutive numbers. So the angle between these two consecutive numbers, the angle will be 30 degree. That is between 12 and 1. The angle between 12 and 1. It will be 30 degree. Angle between 1 and 2. That is when the hour hand and minute hand is coming at 1 and 2. The angle formed over there is 30 degree. Similarly, the angle formed at 2 and 3. If the hour hand and the minute hand is coming at 2 and 3, the angle formed over there is 30 degree. That is what they are telling over here. The angle between the two consecutive numbers on the clock. The angle between the two consecutive numbers on the clock is 30 degree. Between 12 and 1, 30 degree, 1 and 2, 30 degree, 2 and 3, 30 degree, 3 and 4, 30 degree, 4 and 5, 30 degree. It goes on. So between the two numbers, the angle formed over there is 30 degree. Now we'll do some questions based on this. Write the types of angles made by the two hands of a clock. You have to write the type of angle made by the two hands of the clock at 9. At 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock. How will the hands be, children? Your hour hand will be at 9 and your minute hand will be at 12. Correct? Your hour hand is at 9 and your minute hand is at 12. Hour hand will be at 9 and the minute hand will be at 12. So what type of an angle is that, children? It is a right angle. The angle formed at 9 o'clock is right angle. The angle formed at 9 o'clock is right angle. Okay. Now coming to the next one, 220. 220. 220 means the hour hand is between 2 and 3. Somewhat between 2 and 3, right? The hour hand will be between 2 and 3. Okay. This is 2, this is 3. And 20. 20 minutes means, where will the minute hand come? It will come at 4. So it's coming at 4. So somewhat the time will be like this. The hour hand comes between 2 and 3. Minute hand will be at 4. So what type of an angle is formed over there, children? It's a small angle, right? What do you call it? Acute angle. So angle formed over here is acute angle. Okay. Now, next one. At 12:35. At 12:35, what type of an angle? At 12:35 means what? Your hour hand is between 12 and 1. So somewhat like this. This is 12, this is 1. So it will be in between 12 and 1. And 35 means your minute hand is at which number? At 7. So it will be like this. 12:35. This is 7 over here. 6 straight down. 12:35. So what type of an angle is formed over there? This angle, children, what type of angle? It's a bit bigger, right? So it is called the obtuse angle. Yes, the angle formed at 12:35 is obtuse angle. Okay, next one, 6 o'clock. Very easy. 6 o'clock means hour hand is at 6, minute hand is at 12. Straight. What angle? Yes, straight angle. Next, 3, 5. 3, 5. That means your minute hand is at, your hour hand is at 3, your minute hand is at 1. Your minute hand is at 1. 3, 5. Hour hand is at 3, your minute hand is at 1. At 1 you have 5 minutes. So what type of angle, children? Yes, it is acute angle. It's a small angle, so it is acute angle. Now, the last one, 1:30. At 1:30, 1:30 means your hour hand is between 1 and 2. Your hour hand is between 1 and 2. And 30 means your minute hand is coming at 6. 1:30. So what type of an angle is that, children? It's a bit bigger, right? More than 90 degrees. So it is obtuse angle. It is an obtuse angle. Okay. So this is how you find an angle between the numbers in a clock. A clock, it is 360 degree. The full clock, it is 360 degree. Then angle between two consecutive numbers, that is between the numbers, nearby numbers, between 12 and 1, between 1 and 2, between 2 and 3, it is 30 degree. Now looking at the hour hand and the minute hand, according to the position of the hour hand and minute hand, it is easy for us to find out what type of angle it is. Okay. If it is a straight line, you can understand it is a straight angle. If it is more than 90 degree, obtuse angle, less than 90 degree, acute angle. Okay. Now, next we will move on to shapes and angles. We are going to connect shapes and angles over here. You have a first question over here. How many angles are there inside the shapes 1, 2 and 3? I have got a shape over here. This is a rectangle. Here I have two triangles. Okay. Together when we look, it looks like a house, front part of a house. So we have divided into three shapes, one rectangle and two triangles. So they are asking you how many angles are there in the shapes 1, 2 and 3, and you have to name the angles. So first we will take picture 1. How many angles are there, children? Yes, there are 4 angles. Now, which are the angles over there? Which type of angles can you see over here? Yes, you can see there are 4 right angles. All the angles are right angles, a 90 degree angle. So we can see there are 4 right angles. The type of angle is a right angle. 4 right angles. Now second picture, it is a triangle. How many angles are there? Triangle is having 3 sides, so it will have 3 angles. Okay, this is the first one, second one, and this is the third one. So there are 3 angles. And what are the types of angles? There are 2 acute angles and 1 right angle. Right angle is always represented in the form of L. You should show it like this always. Okay. So you have 2 acute angles, small angle. You can see the mouth is closed. You take this, this is acute, this is also acute, and you have 1 right angle. So 2 acute angles and 1 right angle. Okay. Again, the third picture, there also it's the same. There also you have 3 angles. There also you can see 2 acute angles and 1 right angle. So 2 acute angles and 1 right angle. Okay. So this is how we can connect clocks and angles, and this is how you can also connect shapes and angles. Okay, children. So from the shapes also you can understand the different types of angles. You should be able to identify the different types of angles. If you need to identify, you should know what are the different types of angles. Okay children. Now children, I will introduce to you what is a protractor. Okay, I will show you this is a protractor. Okay. In the protractor, you can take your own protractor and keep it with you children. In the protractor, you can see there are two sets of numbers shown over there. They are called the scales. There are two scales in the protractor. This is called the inner scale of the protractor, starting from 0 till 180. In the protractor, they will show you the numbers from 0 to 180. That is 0 degree to 180 degree. This is used to measure angles. You can use this to measure angles or you can use this to draw angles. Okay. So in this protractor, they will be showing you two scales. Both the scales will be showing you the numbers from 0 degree to 180 degree. Okay. And these two scales, one is the inner scale. In the inner scale, the 0 is starting from this side. In the inner scale, the 0 is starting from this side. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, it goes till 180 in the inner scale. In the outer scale, the 0 starts from here. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40 till 180 over here. So both the scales are having numbers from 0 to 180. Now it is our wish, we can use whichever scale we want. We can either use a inner scale to measure or to draw, or you can use the outer scale to measure or draw. It's our wish. But whenever we are using, we have to see it according to the baseline. Suppose this is my angle children. Suppose I have an angle over here. This is my angle. Okay. This is my baseline. I call this one as the baseline. So my protractor should be adjusted over there. You can see a vertical line and a horizontal line in the center. The meeting point. That meeting point should come on the vertex of the angle. That meeting point should come on the vertex of the angle and you have to adjust it to the baseline. That is compulsory. See, this is how I am adjusting. This is a vertex, the meeting point of the vertical line and the horizontal line in your protractor. There is a meeting point on that. That meeting point should come on the vertex of the angle. Should come on the vertex of the angle, and that baseline in the protractor should come on top of the baseline on which you have drawn. Now you can see this baseline is going to that direction. My arrow is gone to that direction. If my arrow is going to that direction, I have to use the inner scale. I have to start the 0 from that side. The 0 is coming in the inner scale. From there I have to count and see where this line is coming. I can see it is coming between 50 and 60 and it is coming at 57. It is coming at 57. So I can mark it as 57 degree. So here how did I measure? I used the inner scale and I measured. Now if I am using the outer scale, how can I use it? See, suppose I use the outer scale. I will draw an obtuse angle over here. Okay. My baseline is going to this direction. In that case, I will have to use the outer scale. So, what I have to do first? First, I have to keep the vertex. See, I have to keep the vertex of the protractor on the vertex of the angle straight first, and I have to adjust the baseline also. I have to adjust the baseline. How to adjust? That you have to adjust it properly on top of the baseline. Once that is done, then you can measure. Take the outer scale because the arrow is going to this direction. The baseline's arrow is going to this direction. You have to start from the outer scale. Start from the outer scale 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. It goes on 80, 90, 100, 110. It is closer to 120. So I think it's 118 degree. I will move this. I can write over here 118. Okay, so it is your wish that you can take the inner scale or outer scale, but depending on the baseline, you have to see the direction of the baseline. If the baseline's direction is going to this side, you have to take the outer scale, but if it's going to that side, you have to take the inner scale. Only that thing you have to be careful, and the arrangement of the protractor. The middle point of the protractor should be on top of the vertex, and this line, you can see a baseline in the protractor, it should come straight on the top of the baseline. Once that is done, then it is easy for us to either measure or draw an angle. So this is a protractor, it has two scales, both the scales have readings from 0 degree till 180 degree. Both one is the inner scale and other one is the outer scale. According to the baseline, you have to decide which scale you have to take. Okay. So in the next video, I will show you how to draw some measures. Okay. Thank you, children.